Hello, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko was the fusion of, dude, like Ben 10 werewolf, Ben 10 mummy, Ben 10. They're all basically Ben 10, or I like to narrow it down to fusion. So, yeah, or fusioner. So, yeah, and I he posted on Twitter that of which ones to pick. No one picked them this morning, or earlier today, so you're out of luck. So, yeah. So, Ben, or no. So, Zuko was born, or let's begin with his abilities. So, I created, alright, using the abilities from the, hold on, give me one, of these. So, yeah. So he has all those abilities. This one has all those abilities. So, yeah, and plus he also has the infinity power. So, he was born looking like that. So, yeah. When he was born as that, his mother and his father decided to do got rid of him. Like right after, because they wanted normal kid, not some freak show. When he got abandoned, as he could store energy like nobody's business. So, yeah. And then when he was walking around, of course, he runs into, you guessed it, her. I don't know what her quirk is, but she looks like part of him thing. So, yeah. As they've been hanging out a lot. And then she starts liking him. As he was just a young one. So was her. She was just a kid. But when he was growing up really fast. So, yeah. And then he discovers his power. Or, sorry about that, that was my friend in's talking. So he went to this abandoned warehouse where no one was at. Not even the villains knew about it. And figured out how, as he still had his clothes thing, but as he was, or first of all, he had a sister named Zumi. So, yeah, so Zuko transformed. It was painful. So she came running and she told, "Are you doing okay?" As she sees him transforming into a human, as he into the actual Zuko, as he like, what was that? As she's surprised when she saw Zuko, who's his human form. As, yeah. So, you'll all be thinking to yourself, wait, so he was a human transformed into a werewolf creature, right? No, when he was born, he was the werewolf transformed into a human. And so he trained his powers. He still has those things on his back, but not as much. As he joins UA, as, of course, she was in love with him. So she decides to go on a date with him. Of course, he agrees, and they got dating. They went to UA, as he actually made, as he says, there's a lot of people here. As he was, yeah. So, am I in the right place? Or where? Of course, she and him were dating a lot, so they went to Zuku, or no, they went to UA and did a quirk assessment testing. Of course, she says, "Ready?" Ready. As he transforms back into his usual form, as everyone is shocked that the werewolf man, or freaky one, as he like he actually uses, he can control storms, so he basically made one appear and charges him up, as he roars so loud the that. So it was like that, but 100 times more. Depends on how much electricity that he stores up. Heck, if he reaches to like his max limit, he can become he could level the entire city if he wanted to. But the lightning, he could get struck by every different colored lightning. And he's immunity to like fire and ice and gravity and all that stuff. So, yeah, when they saw him do that, the all the 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, they all exploded. And with just like it's and the shockwave made the cameras, or like cameras things surrounding the fake city goes out. As Nezu is like, he's a real screamer, aren't he? Of course, Midnight or actually, Racerhead says, yeah, it says on here he's quirkless, but depends on his roar and the storm clouds. He has a mutation quirk. As, of course, his roar, he roars so loud that everyone had to get behind him, covering their ears. Yeah, he's that powerful. And he can handle, any attacks. Basically, like, he could handle Mina's acid quirk. Or anyone's. It was just, so, yeah. He also can guide electricity through his hands, too. So he's like, as he transforms back, but painfully, as he is not used to that. So she had to come and, like, she says, you're okay, just, okay? As he, like, it was pretty painful. And everyone that looked at him, like, Almond and then Ever, her, and everyone that saw his roar for the first time was like, gosh dang, this boy has some pipes. As he, yeah, sorry. And before we go any further, in that, like, Twitter thing that I made two or the one voting thing was, what if Zuko was this, or what if Zuko was a police officer? That's why. So go check it out. Okay? So, hi. Sorry. I had to cough it out. So, that's what it's supposed to be, but it was today, so you all missed it. So, better vote now before. So, then when Zumi, Zumi was there, and she saw her brother that she never met, and did that. Yeah. And so she went home, and she, like, her parents says, how was your testing? As she says, it was good. But man, during the robot thing, someone uses their sonic screech ability, or werewolf ability, as where is I always end up forgetting that so she says, what do you mean? As Zumi explains that some random kid just had the werewolf ability that allowed him to transform to a werewolf, but it was looks like a hybrid, like a new type. And sorry if I was on mute thing. So she ends up telling her mom that about it's just so weird. And she asked Zuko to take his picture when he was in his werewolf form. As she did, and she showed it to her mother, and she says, oh, as she goes to bed, and Sashi and her were talking. As, yeah, she told him that I think that our son his power has activated. That was his power that we saw. Yeah. So that was at Midoriya's house. But then at they're still having their, like, good moments things of they both are still dating each other. And they start training their quirks. And so it was just so weird. So then I'm skipping when they got the internship thing. As he doesn't even know his name. Yeah, so now he is in class 1A, and he is wearing like a special suit thing. Yeah. They as yeah. They don't no one knew who he actually was. Only person that really knew was his parents. But they haven't talked to him. So, yeah. So, Nezu is like, huh, well, he seems promising. As when I'm looking at him, he looks like the one that could haunt anyone's dreams. Like, hey, what's up, guys? So, yeah. He is. Sorry if I'm breathing so hard or sneezing. It's. My nose is so cold right now. It's. So, yeah. I'm skipping the ball throw thing. Because when Zuko threw the ball, it landed in Saturn. Or like on the sun. And with such speed, he says, use, or actually, Eraserhead says, use your quirk. And he nods his head, like, yeah, I'll do that. As he never truly understands what quirks are. So he ends up throwing the ball so hard, and he ends up doing that. And man, the ball really went flying all the way to past the probably our orbit. I'm talking about real life. Yeah. So he has even super strength, super speed. And like when he was in his human form, he can think faster than anyone. All the way to like, let me pull up Ben 10 stuff. Okay, where is it? Oh. So think about it as, or he's could outsmart him, and everyone. Like that's only in his human form. Oh, sorry. That's only in his human form. So, yeah, he got first place with his girlfriend. Yeah, so he was wearing the special suit thing so that it was so yeah. Hold on, sneeze. Sorry about that. My nose was running. So yeah, and so now and heroes versus villains. He got paired up with, guess who it was? It was his girlfriend. Her. So, yeah. I was gonna say Chaco. Or let's do that. So, with his friend Ochako, he goes in. He uses his sense. Or no, not Ochako. I meant Jiro. With his good friend Jiro. As he starts sniffing them out. And, yeah. Jiro and him were excellent teammates. And he actually goes on as he knows where it is. As he was faster than Jiro. Yeah. As, of course, who was the villains? Her. And Zumi, his sister. As he says, as he still, or he has also ghost freaks from Ben 10's ends is power too, so he phases right through walls or any attacks. So yeah, he goes right through his through his sister and ends up or not his sister, through him, or no, as she always knew how to as she always been such in love with him when he does that. As yeah, sometimes she does, or he does it to to just spook her out, but she, of course, as he was, yeah, he used his full, or not full power, but he, of course, he trained with her on the human part of doing that, Sonic Square, or whatever that's called. Look it up on Google, okay? Google Sonic Scream from Ben 10. So, yeah. So she, of course, he went past even his own sister too. And he touches the bomb. Or more like going into the bomb. So he touches the bomb, and the heroes win. Jiro was even had to fight her. As, yeah. Of course, Jiro, or actually, Heroes won, and he was more focused on, more not selfish ones. He has the same, when he's in his werewolf thing, he acts like Todoroki, cool-headed, and then when he gets really mad, he uses his sonic screech. So, yeah. And Zuko, who went back to his human form as the of course, Zumi had her phone out as she videotaped Zuko's transformation back into his human-like state as he was like, as the clothes that he wore, like his PE one, got shredded, as so she walked up to him. She had some spare clothes of his, so she gave him to, as he says, thank you. As yeah, so then now a USJ thing. Yeah. So before we get to that part, the Zumi is, where is the so Zumi told, or actually told, or like, or showed her mom what, as her mom and her husband, the Inko's husband, Sashi, saw like what Zuko used, or he's transforming back into his human-like state, as they couldn't believe that their son has a mutation quirk thing. And during the same time, good old Nezu asked Zuko, or asked him to bring Zuko in, as he says, or of course Zuko, of course, told Mr. Aizawa, am I in trouble for something? No. Okay. As of course Nezu, or after they arrived, Nezu says, okay. So let's get down to business, okay? As you're pretty strong for, you have, what is your quirk, by the way, before? As he shrugs his shoulders, like he doesn't even know. Oh. As he says, you don't know your quirk? I know someone that has. Of course, he knows Recovery Girl has it. No. Experience with quirks. So, he went to Recovery Girl, and turns out he was he had a worthless quirk. You know what that was? or not. He was quirkless. So, it must be your genetics thing. It's something tells me that it, as he says, something's telling me that you're new who breed kind. That's okay. We'll accept you. As Zuko, or actually, Zuko had the same quirk, or the quirk that ever, or all for one needed, was hyper regeneration quirk. But a hilarious part, when he uses his werewolf form, it slowly fuses, or like makes a copy of it, of that hyper regeneration quirk inside of his genetics. So, or the original is inside of him, like inside of his genetic code. So, yeah. So the copied one is like, I don't feel no pain. And, yeah. Then he says, well, the training. So Zuko was training harder than anyone, and even, of course, she trained with him on her quirk. So, yeah. Zuko was, or he uses his human form. He still has, like, those, like these ones, but on his back. But when he uses them, it doesn't, like, turn him into a brain dead idiot like the human Pikachu. If some of you might not know who he is, or what I'm talking about, that Denki character. But Zuko uses, like, his hyper regeneration quirk. Yeah. So when he uses his own roar, he could level the entire world if he wanted to. And he trained so hard and getting so much better. He looked like Blood Heroes is. Okay? But before, he looked like him. Then he. So, yeah. His girlfriend, then her, or they spend a lot of time together training, and of course she is not like what those other ones. I know because I usually ship Zuko with, like, Toga. But after watching the Sunshine one, okay. So the What If Zuko Had Sunshine, go check it out. It's pretty cool. It's on YouTube. So, yeah. I know that I used to ship Toga with him. But he or of course, Zuko in that version would be quite cute, but that I wish that there was more of those. Okay, so now Zuko. Now focus on this one. So yes, Zuko, who was spending a lot of time with her and training in his like human state or werewolf state to trying to get his as he's getting used to him transforming back into his between both states. As yeah, he even when he uses his sonic roar one, he or when he's in the human form, the no electrical or elemental attacks wouldn't affect, or like Todoroki's is ice and fire wouldn't work on him, or Denki's is electricity because he could absorb them and or those attacks, and yeah, he ends up he could split himself to pieces like a certain pirate I know. Sorry, give me a moment. Sorry. Okay. I was itching my ear. Okay? So, yeah. The now USJ. Sorry, I forgot that I skipped over USJ. So Zuko was basically Zuko was basically knew what to do because he was in his human form, as he told Mr. Aizawa that Eridu, don't get your head smashed by that creature. Do you see him over there? As Mr. Aizawa sees a Nomu, and he says, okay. And he also asked him if he can and help in that situation. As at first he or Mr. Aizawa thinks inside of his head as he says, no, because your safety is our main concern. Okay? That's okay. As little did they know that he actually had a special resistance thing. So he says, if you don't want, or if you don't want me to join the fight thing, here. As he hands him as he threw it, or he told him to throw it at them. As as Eraserhead says, are sure? Yep. I'm 100% positive. As he throws it, and everyone that into that, like, as he grabs everybody, or like he told them to, like, or he grabs Mr. Aizawa and everybody, and he literally ran into a door, breaking the hinges off. As he does the same, but everybody ran away because, as Mr. Aizawa told Zuko, what was that that you told me to throw? And so Zuko told him it was, I forget what they were called. Hold on. Corrodium. So that's what hit. So that's what Zuko told Mr. Aizawa. The thing that I threw was corrodium. It allows a person to become a creature. Sure. As 13 says, wait, so would it affect us too? No, because you all were standing behind me. I threw it that direction, so yeah. I put up an electric barrier before. So they are attacking each other's. Or mostly attacking the Nomu. As he says, man, I got that all, or we got that done. And now we just need to wait. As the human Pikachu's communication thing is busted. So he says, let me try something. As he used his electric storm. Or purple storm. As he wrote this in the like concrete, or it says, or actually told, or that electricity went through all the way to and wrote on the wall of USJ attacked. As All Might and Pro Hero saw that, as they're like, okay, we're on our way. As those Class A students says, what did you do? As he looks at them and says, well, my power of the storm allows me to also do it long range. So it's kind of like a communicator. As everybody's like, you're pretty strong, Zuko. Yeah. So then now moving back on track on of course, Nezu, who told him, like, that was pretty smart idea, sending electricity through, and telling us that, or sending us that. Yeah. So, and he told All Might that don't go in there unless you want to turn into those things. What things? As he he was still immune to his own. So he walks in, and everyone puts a handman suit on, like radiation suit. They see the entire armies of those creatures. Basically, yeah, Zuko created these dark apocalypse. Yeah. So, but they're like saying, why are you not infected with it? I'm immune to all the everything. Basically, I'm immune to my own radiation stuff. And they're like, okay. As he used it, or he snuck around everybody, because everybody was like not paying attention to just him, went and grabbed it, then he put it back into where it was. As everyone was transformed from, or all the villains transformed back into where they were, or as he says, that was overpowered. As All Might and everybody that was in the radiation suit thing, as the machine that Momo created went, or it read, it's normal. So, yeah, there's no radiation levels anywhere. So he says, yeah. So the Todoroki couldn't believe that Zuko had this much power. As she was mostly worried about him. And so then that happened, and Zuko was now spending all that time, and now a sports festival. So at the sports festival, I know I'm skipping the race one because Zuko got first place and cavalry battle, but the fight one, Zuko against the brain dude, is like, and he he punched that brain dude right in the chest, and sending him flying out of the ring. And then Todoroki, it's similar to Canon, but Todoroki against Zuko, as he creates electric shield around Zuko's the entire body, and ends up like nullifying the flames and ice. As Todoroki, as his girlfriend was watching, he couldn't believe that he is trained so hard. And he, as his mouth, as he says, "Are you done, Todoroki?" As Todoroki was like, is tired out, so he's like, "It's okay, my turn." As his lower jaw, like his, has split into two, like kind of like the how Spider Monkey or Ultimate Spider Monkey from Ben 10 Ultimate Aliens was. As, yeah, Zuko was basically like that. As he used his sonic roar, because he's still, or he mean clouds come and charges him up all the way. And when he launched, or when he did that, Todoroki flew out of the, right out of the stadium, even with everyone else that was aimed, or that was right in direct path. That include Midnight and like everyone. As he closes his mouth, and everyone saw like the piece of the Colosseum was even gone. As everyone sees that Zuko would be, if he wasn't a pro hero, he would have just did that to all of us. As he says, thing is, I didn't level the entire city. It went in that direction. As Music, or he asked Music Mike if that is that a way that the, as everyone that saw his sonic blast, some of them are like, I'm out, I'm gone. Yeah. But Bakugo against Oraka, Zuko uses his lightning ability to create an electric shield around her, to protecting her from Bakugo's attacks. So, yeah. And Bakugo and Zuko were gonna go head to head, and then that happens, and yeah. Bakugo couldn't never win in that fight against Zuko. So Bakugo says, I give up. As, yeah. Because everyone that was like Todoroki was unconscious. Or all of them didn't die. Because that debris has evaporated into like nothing. So they were just all hit their heads. Alright. I don't have that picture on, so I'm just gonna. So Todoroki, or so Endeavor is like, whoa, that boy has some firepower to him. As, yeah, this is Endeavor that we're talking about. When he's a number 2 pro hero. When he says that, you know things get real deep. As Principal Nezu knows that Zuko can train harder than anyone. So he, of course, Mr. Aizawa was shocked. Like, he couldn't believe that his student could, with that much power that he has, he could just easily clear Japan right out. Like, whoop, bam, I win, I win, I win. But Eraserhead knows that Zuko would never do that, because he told him that he would rather be a pro hero and protect everyone than as he or his girlfriend is very proud of him, as when, of course, Zumi saw all that, as she almost got blown out of her seat. And as, her brother did that. As Inko was at the house with her husband thing, and when she saw what Zuko did, she was freaking out, like, that's abomination. I'm just kidding. So she's very proud of her son. And so the Bakugo forfeited match before. So there was no round, or so Dark Shadow went to a next round. And and then Dark Shadow is like, oh, I see what you jerk. As of the next round, he ends up getting, like, forfeited a match too. So they're like, okay, Zuko is that powerful? That tells us that he's our number 1 target. That's what the villains are saying. If we get him on our side, he can. And he with his power. So his power was so great. Even so, then sports festival and internships. Heck, after the sports festival, Todoroki, he's his father, walks up to Zuko, and told him if you're thinking about choosing the agency, you're always welcome. Okay? As he says, huh, sure. And as he says, sure thing. As, yeah. So, her, I know that it says, like, her name that's on top of this one. Like, I can't pronounce her name correctly. I know Lady Nangan is that girl. So, but I'll just keep calling her her. So, she ends up, like, heard that Zuko will join endeavors because he needs the firepower of from like one powerfulest Zuko. Yeah. Or everyone relies on Zuko from now on. As yeah. Zuko is more powerful enough to destroy whoever he chooses, but he chose not to. So how long has or yeah, okay. So after the internship thing has ended, as or he kept his spot and everybody chose their spot. So yeah, everyone or except for her chose to stay away from Zuko because they know that he could be and human Pikachu that I said earlier. He even sat right next to him. So yeah, the mall thing, as everyone is because Zuko did like upper hand hero killer Stain and Musclear from killing anyone. Because with his sense, as he literally he was pretty powerful, not gonna lie. As yeah, he ends up becoming the everyone's fanboys thing. Like everyone was every time they see Zuko in his human or his beast form, they're always like fan and boying it or fangirling it. Yeah. So some of her friends or some of the people says you're pretty lucky to having him as your boyfriend. As he always gets embarrassed when that and after the camp park thing, of course, Bakugo got captured. That made Zuko mad. As you know what he did? Or like during the training course thing, the during the camp park, he gathered up so much energy into himself as it was a human Pikachu and his weather doubling it as he's like ready as everyone covers their ears as then he roars so loud it destroyed the half of the planet. As everyone that saw that, and as they're like, what the heck? Heck, she was even trying to, as he actually has rewind power, so he used it, like he shoots electricity from his fingers, as, yeah, he ends up becoming, or he got the Earth fully back. So, yeah. As they said, then that you need a better control over that. So, that is good to know that Zuko has to do one electricity at a time. As everyone knew that Zuko is powerful, so the villains, or actually Bakugo was not the one that got captured. Zuko got captured. That made her sad, and because her boyfriend is not with her, as he was in chains, and they thought he was gonna be like a human thing, but when he transformed into a big bad, as he shoots electricity out through his fingers, as, yeah, everyone is, of course, the All For One says, well, then, you're pretty powerful for... What age are you? As All For One's like, how old are you? As he says, 15, going on 16. As, or he says, I really don't know. As, yeah. 18. Of course, that confuses All For One, but he says, just forget it, as he's still in his monster form, as he says, come on, Big Bear. And as he used electricity and his roar and his speed, he's a lot faster than even Tenya or anyone. And with all that, as they All For One tried to use like his quirk on him, but little did he know, he had a copied version of his quirk. So, yeah. Sorry. It was just so weird. And All For One got turned in, and then Zuko became his superhero name is Mystery Wolf. Oh, that's his superhero name. As his girlfriend was, yeah. So I'm skipping the dodgeball thing. I call it dodgeball, but and to becoming a pro hero thing, as, yeah, he passes it. He becomes a pro hero with his girlfriend, and now it was time for Inko tells Zuko that the or tells him what his name is, as he told Zuko, or she walks up to him one day. She told him that it was his mother, so not her. To her name, or his name is Zuko Midoriya. As okay, as yeah. So he gets introduced to his sister Zumi, and he he spends a lot of time making memories with his girlfriend, or actually his wife, because they both became pro heroes and they both got married and had 4 kids. Yeah, that's pretty insane. I'm I feel like I'm doing the movie kind. So, yeah. So, probably tomorrow or later today, I'll do the what if Zuko was a police officer one. Probably tomorrow or sometime today, okay? So, have fun. Don't die. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and do all that things that other YouTubers say.